Welcome back, everybody. We got a new one for you today. We're gonna playing against Gangplank Top. You've seen how this goes. This is a VOD review of a game I played yesterday, I believe. And Gangplank is one of those classic counters to Mordekaiser. You gotta watch out for. He's an early game lane bully for sure. Not just against Mordekaiser, but against plenty of champions. A lot of people struggle on how to duel against this guy. So we're going to be going over this VOD review. You can see how I handle the situation. A lot of things you got to be on the lookout for. You got to be playing smart. And just, you got to play around what the scenario is. You know, his barrels for sure. His ultimate. Does he have ultimate? Has he placed it? And, of course, that orange's ability of his that can shut off your ultimate. Alright, so we get in it here. And right away you can notice I'm staying exceptionally far back, close enough that I can get the XP off of those minions, but I don't want to get too close. And whenever I can, I try to hop in and out of that bush, that vision. For the reason being, he's constantly going to try to proc those shots off on you of his. And a lot of times Gangplank, this one didn't take it, but a lot of times Gangplank likes to take grasp, and so he's gonna constantly try to land that basic stack on you to get a grasp stack. So you just want to be wary of that. This one took first strike, and be careful of his barrels. Most of his power comes from his barrels, so you want to be outside the radius of that. No, they like to chain them together, so you want to be in your mind, be like, okay, if he's gonna place a barrel, how far do I need to be away from the initial barrel that I won't get hit by either. But you play passive, you get the gold that you can get, poke where you can. We got a gank coming in here, so we follow up with it, but usually you just try to play as passive as you can. This one was a little less aggressive than normal GPs would be. His corruption pots are down already. We still have yet to use ours, but we're not looking to engage him yet. We poke where we can, but we don't know where the jungle is. At this moment, he might be coming up. Oh, but they just showed bot side for us. We're both level 6. Things to know, things to remember. Your ultimate, he can shut it off with his orange's ability. It's either his W or his E, I don't remember for sure. I did ult him and he immediately shut it off. Followed up with his ultimate, but I had ignite on him. He ignited me, but I got the triumph stack, so it kind of saved me from the ignite. I don't know that I was too worried about it anyway. But if I remember right, the reason why I went in is because I thought that he actually used his orange's ability. I thought I watched him do it, and I was like, this is my opportunity to drag him in, bonk him, ignite, and it'd be an easy kill. That wasn't exactly the case, but it still played out, even though misread the situation. But if Gangplank uses his ultimate, and then you ult him right afterwards, that ultimate's not going to go into your ult. It'll keep going after you get out. The 7 seconds are up, or if you get the kill. But if you see him ult early, and for whatever reason, if he doesn't have his oranges, then you're free to ult him, and it should be a pretty easy kill. Another thing to think about is his barrels kind of fall into the same pattern, in that if he places all of his barrels out and then you ult him, those barrels aren't going to come into your ultimate either. But again, the most crucial thing to try and keep in mind is, does he have his oranges up? Maybe that was the one where I thought he had used his oranges. I know it was definitely an early play. Ooh, so Kat had just hopped in with her ult, and I canceled it out early with my E, my Death's Grasp, right? But that's kind of a hard one to get the most value about it out of that transaction or whatever. You gotta have a little bit of a sense of intuition. You gotta know that she's about to use her ultimate and just kind of, you know, throw it out, and it's kind of a risk, right? Because you know it has a long cooldown, but if you wait for her to do her ultimate first and then you follow it up with your Death's Grasp, you're at most you're only gonna chop off like the last quarter of the ability, because the animation of it takes like a second, like a full second's worth of time. GP he's scary at a distance, but if you're on top of them and if you can stay on top of them, you beat him pretty dang easily. Now you definitely don't want to play in his barrels though. That's where the majority of his damage comes from, is those barrels. He kind of overstepped there. Eating his tower there. He used his ultimate, so we just scoot on the outside of it. Get it down, do a reset. Show you what the items are so far. If you want to against a Gangplank, you can definitely go boots early. I don't think that I did this game, but rushing your boots first. At least if you're playing against an exceptionally aggressive Gangplank, then it's definitely fair to go ahead and get those steel caps first, and to, you know, try to survive your lane, survive the lane phase. We're 4-0, Gangplank's 0-4. Now, I'm not accrediting this whole match to skill. I definitely, you know, have some mechanical blunders here and there. And this Gangplank isn't exactly the most fearsome one that I've seen. But the mechanics that I use to, you know, fight around the Gangplank matchup is relatively the same, regardless of how the Gangplank, you know, whatever the Gangplank skill level is. But since we had such a pronounced lead with our gold there, we're trying to get some more value, get that value out on the map, some map pressure here and there, kind of be with the team. Grab the escaping Yumi. At this point, I probably would have went to the dragon, like I wanted to, and that was my plan. But someone on the team kept spam pinging the tower here, and I thought it was the Talon. I thought Talon was telling me not to go to the dragon and instead go for the tower, because I thought he was gonna solo it. And so I was like, you know, I kind of hesitantly went to that lane and tried to push it in. This was an unfortunate situation here I put myself in. Gave Gangplank that hardy shutdown that I had. You can see Kane's just kind of pushing in the side there. I'm coming back up. use these portals to our advantage to kind of hop up with our team. Although they were kind of waiting there for us, but in the end it wasn't a problem because we just deleted them. So okay, that was unfortunate. Let's roll that back just a little bit. So there's 3 of us, and there's a very close to dead team there. I'm trying to go in to follow up the play there. Might have went a little bit too far back. Anyway, I'm trying to get out to the side here so I can land an EQ combo and put him down, right? Well, I see Leona come in, and she's like, oh, she's got the aggro of the turret, and before I can even get close enough, I end up taking, what, 2 shots there? I was thinking the minion wave was right there, but it was not. It most certainly was not. And so we ended up getting punished there. Thankfully, it was the Yumi that stole that kill and not the Jin himself. Much rather have the Yumi eat that gold than the Jin. The Jin is a lot more fearsome with, you know, with what he can potentially put on the map in terms of items. Pretty good Tristana there, except for she ended up flashing out. Which is probably for the better, because that Gangplank kill is definitely not worth very much. Yeah, speed it back up here. Alright, we saw like 3 of them right there, and we decided we did not want that, so we're just gonna move it along. Get caught in a bad position. Use our ultimate to kind of even the odds there. Our team was able to follow. And now you can probably see what's gonna happen next, which is that Baron call. We're gonna go hop on Baron and try to do a big base push if we can. After a reset. So I went ahead and got Dead Man's. This isn't an item that I usually get. It's a kind of a situational one for me. There was a heavy AD presence. That Jin being the one I most fear. And the other 2, the Gangplank and the Viego, even though they're doing terrible, they have damage that you need to be respectful of. That Gangplank for sure. But that speed is just very, very useful in helping you get to them. That Jin has, you know, very, very high movement speed. That Gale Force. Go back a bit for you guys. Knock it down a little bit. Poor Talon couldn't accept the tower shot there. We have 3 levels on each of them, so we're not scared at all. We take the one that can do the most damage in an instant. Unfortunately, that Katarina had shown up after we got our ultimate. Otherwise, we probably could have got all 3 fairly easily. But if you look at our build, we do not have any magic resistance going on. And so that AP cuts into us a lot more than the AD does at the moment. And we're back up, back at it again. Try to get to the team as quickly as we can. You see, I am starting to build towards Cosmic Drive there. I didn't see I guess I don't know what I was seeing there, but forgot whose team I was on for a second. I was thinking that Katarina was on our team. Anyway, we're just kind of being a bully in the front. We know that we're big. We know that it's going to take multiple people to take us down. So we're kind of just having an aggressive presence, and then we kind of pull off when we see more than one of them. Or, you know, we're just basically buying time for our team to get some map pressure going, or to team up in groups so we can do a big all-out fight. Starting to see an opportunity here. We pull up. She's on us. We were a little early on that queue, but it doesn't matter. She still went down pretty fast. Kick Yumi off of the Viego, I believe. Getting kind of low on health, but we have a full W ready to proc. Didn't look like the fight was happening at the moment, so we just went ahead and used it. And then with so many of them dead, we just go ahead and push and I think end the game here. I guess we don't end the game here. Fairly close though. Couple objectives coming up. We're back up and at it again. You can see just how much of that damage comes from his Qs there late game. We took some unlucky poke damage there. We were put down, but our team fortunately is there to mop up and get that Nexus down. So show you the results of that match. We ended with a pretty good KD. Again, we just kind of lucked out in who we were playing against. That Gangplank didn't exactly have the aggression that he needed to have to play such a you know, dominant lane bully early game. He should have definitely been pressuring that early aggression that he comes along with playing Gangplank. But we just kind of capitalized on the situation. So this is the damage that was done. Look at the damage taken. Compare it to our self-mitigated damage. You know, we took quite a lot there. Let's see what else. If you want to see healing done, not a whole lot, but you know, a sizable amount. And maybe true damage dealt if you care about that. But yeah, so that's basically kind of how you have to handle the situation. Just be very respectful of the Gangplank early game. You want to, you know, definitely not be in his barrel ranges, because that's where the majority of the damage is going to be coming from. If you're playing against a Gangplank that has a grasp rune set, you want to definitely be outside of his auto range for most of it. Try to sneak a Q in where you can, but only if you want to make windows of when they're gonna about to take a CS, a minion, and that's when you step up and get a Q on him or something, and then step out. If he's following you and he looks like he's just about to catch you, maybe sneak into a bush so he loses that vision on you. But other than that, you just gotta be always keeping an eye on him, seeing if he's gonna use those oranges. Be careful if he has ult, if he has ignite. It's very common for Gangplank to have ignite, and if you can get on top of him, stick on him like glue, because you're pretty much committed at that point. There's a good chance that you don't get out, so you want to fight to the death. If you're crafty, you can get out, but it's really hard to, because I think he's got a slow and he's got a speed boost for himself. But yeah, so that's the Mordekaiser versus Gangplank matchup, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys like these VOD reviews, or if you want me to switch it up or something. So thanks guys, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys keep tuning in. Later.